What's up, boys and girls? That's your camera, guys, by the way.
Hey, boys and
Steve Domenico, Thomas Evans, Shaun, Alden, Shubert. In the Room podcast, episode 14, talking about the coronavirus and what it's done to martial arts across the country, the world, and especially gym owners, fighters, and coaches, and what you're doing to get by and innovative ways that you are keeping your business together. So welcome to the room, gentlemen, and thank you for coming down. We are legitimately 6 feet apart right now.
This table
except for these
huge.
This table is 12 feet
it is
long.
It's deceiving,
by the way,
ladies and gentlemen.
Let me just make sure we are not listen, people, if you message me on Messenger while I got a live podcast going, when you know for the last week I've been saying I'm going live at around 8:30, and you stop messaging me on Messenger in the middle of it, that's what I say to you. So,
Wow.
Really? I don't know who did it, but at least 3 people just messaged me. So, again,
It's all right.
triple burgers.
Nice.
So, gentlemen.
You don't get to see that in real life.
No, I thought it was just online. I didn't. Oh, that was awesome.
So I got a new thing in the studio right now. It is, I got a monitor that these gentlemen can actually see themselves right now. Now, what you can do is take a picture of that to show that what you were doing in the Room podcast.
Oh.
And while you're doing that, take a picture, Shaun, and add it to your Facebook stories or your Instagram stories.
Shaun, you should first start by maybe liking his page.
Yeah, first,
I did. No, I did. I liked the page before I shared it.
All right. And everyone else out there.
I had to get it first, otherwise I'd be a poser.
I understand.
I can't like.
We're getting our shit together,
you know?
and then we're gonna, get
2020
get it going. So, right now, I'd like all you out there to share this, even though you're sick of me. But I'm all you got right now. No, I'm only kidding.
That's great.
Oh, people are sharing it. Awesome. So, anyway, gentlemen.
That was us.
Yeah, that was it. One thing's enough, man.
That's great.
This is the most views I've ever had in my life right now.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Well,
viruses every other fucking year. So anyway, gentlemen, you're here, and Ed Carr will be calling in at 9:00 also. So you're here to talk about what you're going through, as far as this virus and what it's done to you. Shaun, you had a fight scheduled.
Yep.
In a week and a half.
A lot of fights
week and a half.
A lot of fights were scheduled.
Yes.
Fighters were weighing in and they're
at ammo.
getting pulled. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bellator. So what were you thinking? What was going on in your mind at that point when they started canceling shows? Because the first show was one overseas. I think it was one that they had it. They're gonna have it without an audience. Yeah. So you started seeing that coming. You're smart guys. You're businessmen. What was going through your head at that point?
I mean, I thought that they were going to let the Bellator show go on without fans. And then I started realizing the significance of how fast this is spreading. And I think China, having that massive outbreak really kind of put us in a tough situation. And I think, big credit to the leaders of our country. I think all in all, they've responded accordingly. I definitely no easy job to make a call like what we've done and to try to halt a massive virus and a massive spread of, deaths around the country. So I think from a fight perspective, I'm kind of happy and a little relieved to see people stepping back a little bit and kind of trying to get this thing under control. because it's probably the only way that we're going to be able to move forward. Because we could have done fights, and then, man, it would have been on everyone's souls, right? God forbid someone gets sick in that. What if a fighter gets sick?
Yeah, from that Friday.
What if a fan gets sick?
That Bellator
and then
fight
it
right
spreads,
there.
exactly.
And for a big organization like that to pull the plug, right.
A lot of money lost.
Right then, yeah,
a
and
lot of money.
they paid
the
their fighters, and they
awesome.
paid all the personnel, everyone. I had Kevin McDonald on last week, talked about that, and just having Kevin on from last week, so much fucking has changed just in a week.
Yeah,
I mean, minute by minute,
it's so fluid. It's moving. So
we
fast.
went from 250 people,
to 25,
to 25,
to 10,
and now it's like, don't come out, don't be around, anyone. Now, as far as your businesses being shut down, or at least as far as having these groups in there and stuff, did you see that writing on the wall? Like, when did you notice it? I mean, how far are we in with these gyms?
I'm
2 weeks,
going
a week
on,
and a half?
I'm going on 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I think I'm going on 3 weeks. I'm going on week 3. I think I closed. I think I closed.
Is it that long already?
I'm sorry. I'm going on week 2.
Week two.
Apologize.
Yeah.
I'm going on week 2.
Probably about a week.
You're going on a week. Yeah. And I know Massachusetts has really put the hammer down. I mean, our governor in Rhode Island has been I guess a little lighter is the word to use than Governor Baker, right? He's really cracked the
Yeah. He's also given a lot of the power to the towns and the local.
And we were just talking about that, Shaun. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I mean, as a business owner, that's what's a little challenging, right? Where we have federal guidelines that businesses are following, then we have state guidelines, and now we're also having city guidelines, town, and so the governing, the nation can say this, the governor can say this, and then the mayor will say this.
Yeah,
you gotta kind of really, you gotta really pay attention. You gotta really, follow the laws, because the last thing you want to do is open, get fined, and or shut down permanently. I mean that's the issue.
What is your main? Where is your main source? You don't have to say stations or anything, but where is your main source of information that you're getting? Is it internet? Is it TV? Is it it's got to be a lot of the internet?
That's all I'm doing is trying to find information. I mean, I read mass.gov, which is obviously our state's government website, and we can listen to the local news radios or the local news broadcasts on TV, and they'll tell you when those things are updated. That's mostly what I'm looking at, and I've spoken to several of my town's officials that I own my business in. So I've had the Board of Health from Lakeville in my building, and I was on the phone with them again last night. I've spoken to several police officers that work in the town of Lakeville that have given me, the long and the short of what's going on for our area, and kind of anything outside of that is going to be dealt with by another town, and they're going to have to keep doing it on that local level. And if anything got exponentially out of hand, I'm sure they would call in the next level of officiating.
And I was going to say the same thing, Shaun. I mean, I've been working with the councilman in my city of Providence. I've been following along, obviously, with the governor's daily. She posted daily talk. Police officers I'm very, very close with. Same thing, giving me the short and long story of things, what's to come, what to be expected.
Sure.
And then one of my board of directors, because we're a nonprofit, is actually one of the individuals involved in making hand sanitizers for all hospitals at the moment right now. So he's very knee deep into this. So he's on our board. So he's been daily updates of, hey, Tom, this is what's going on. So
now, all right. So you're a private business.
Yes.
You're a
nonprofit.
Yeah. Is there different guidelines? Is there different things that you've seen that have
No, I mean the thing with us is and with anything, I mean, when kids are involved, they really get very, very strict, and I think that's what's really, we both teach the kid population. We're not considered a daycare, right? So we don't fall under daycare guidelines, but we still have to be aware of those guidelines, right? And we have to still practice those safe habits that are being dished out, So for us as martial, for me as a martial arts school, with that as serving a kid community, I think that's where the trouble lies. I mean, I really do. I mean, adults are very responsible for their own actions in a sense, But with kids, it's just not. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. And, most of your, 75% of your business is families, kids, and, the classes that you've run.
100%.
How are you adapting? How are you, because Shaun, you're a dude that's, you advertise your business constantly on social media. You're one of those guys that just has fun with it. And, you got a lot of families come into the gym and it's like a family atmosphere. So you kind of make that way on you put that passion into your kind of, promoting of the gym.
I appreciate that.
And you've been showing a lot of stuff, how you've been getting through this and the things, talking to the people coming down. You seem like you're being more vocal on social media as far as what you're doing, steps to get out there.
Yeah.
What are you doing and how are you doing it?
I come from old school martial arts community where they teach you to adapt to everything that you're dealt with, right? So the whole martial arts, old school classical karate thing is, it's mind, body, spirit, right? So, if you can't use your body, you got broken leg, broken arm, broken head, they would tell you just come in and learn, visually, or come in and think about things and come in and talk and come, so the martial arts community has always been there for, people that need it for physical, people that need it for mental, people that need it just for their all around, kind of getting through day-to-day stuff, right? So you grow up in that and then you're preaching that, and if you're not living by that, then, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
So you get dealt with what you're dealt with, but nobody came knocking on my door that first day they started making announcements like, hey guys, shut it down. I read the law. I read what the order said. I called the proper people and I said, okay, listen, I can't have more than X amount of people in here. Sorry guys, we're having signups and we're doing some stuff online and, you got to pivot. And it just so happens that information's changing so rapidly that you just got to pivot. It's just like, it's anything in life, but, especially when you compare it to fighting in the ring or fighting, in a competition, like it's constant pivots. There's no like end to it.
Yeah.
There's no end to the technique. That ends when the bell goes off, man. It's like somebody's gonna call it and say, "Hey, listen, time to stop, time to sit down, time to whatever." You know what I mean?
But until then, you don't give up.
You don't give
Yeah.
up. You don't quit. You just keep going, man.
We could be a long ways before we're out of this. Yeah. We could be,
we could be weeks or
4
months.
4 weeks, 3 weeks. Who knows?
We don't know. They just called school off in Massachusetts for another month.
They say end of May, right? I believe.
I think May 7th or something.
So
like
this,
that,
this is your main. This is your income.
100%.
So it's 75%, or of your income and what you do.
Yeah, it's my life.
It's
my life.
exactly. How you hanging in here, and you know what I mean. And you also got families and stuff at home you got to worry about too. How are you hanging in here before we get to how you're doing it for the other people and how you keeping them motivated? But how are you?
I think again, it's that same type of like
how we've been
mentality.
trained.
Yeah, you've been trained that way your whole life. Like sink in, sink down, get comfortable. Like
bite down in your mouth guard and just don't give up.
Embrace the suck, man. Like
yeah, no, I agree. I use it all the time.
That's the mentality. Like how do you tell people that every day and then you're gonna crumble when somebody says, "Hey, listen, you gotta do X, Y, and Z," or you got to work a little harder, or you got to change what you're doing, or you got to put a little bit of, extra sauce on it, or put a little effort in it. Like, you're gonna cry baby your way through it. Like, no, you're gonna make something else of it. It's like
you gotta stay
all
positive.
These big companies are saying like, hey, listen, Carnival Cruise Line, hey, you can turn our ships into floating hospitals, or somebody that says, hey, listen, we're gonna stop brewing our alcohol and start making hand sanitizers, or whatever those companies are. You know what I mean? Like. You just got to be there for
the community.
Who's looking for stuff, Like, I still have
adapting, like
protein shakes and protein bars and all this kind of stuff that I don't push as like my main market, but I have it in my gym. I work with another company that's food product, that's food sales. You know what I mean? So on a technicality, like, listen, I'm just opening my door so that if somebody wants to swing by here and grab a protein shake,
which will last them a while, or
or
protein packets
bar,
or
whatever
something,
it is, they want to buy a box of it. Like, I'm just being available. And
that's the key. And with
people
Shaun
wanna-
is being available.
Now, with this happening, it's forced most of the owners, most of the coaches, most of the fighters out there to think out of the box and get creative
Yeah, virtual
with
learning.
stuff.
To
You know,
be
to,
honest with
to,
you, I
to,
kinda
to
like
survive.
it.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
fun.
think?
It's like
It's interactive.
it's something. Well, not just that, but it's something that like you've been doing your business as a martial artist for 10 years plus. I've been on it for 8 years plus. Like you kind of get into this groove
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
like, okay, I'm doing the same thing, and it's
Yeah,
not like
it's
it's
the
a
routine.
bad thing. It's
No,
not.
no,
There's
no.
nothing bad about
the
it.
structure
But it's
of it.
just the
Yeah,
structure of it.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
get in it, and then something like this smacks you in the face, and it's like, yeah, okay, like. Let's do some
Let's
new
do something
stuff.
different.
Like,
Yeah, let's
let's
have some
make
fun.
some
Some new
videos.
drills,
Let's
some
do
new-
some
yeah,
things.
absolutely.
Let's make up a new.
Yeah, I mean,
workout.
I
Like,
started picking up the bow again. It's so funny.
Well,
you know, it's like,
like,
I haven't
yeah,
touched the bow in
man.
forever. It's like, oh, you know, prime
I got
example.
tricks
People
on
buy
my
people
son,
buying tripod
like-
stands out there. They must be going out of fucking business. These people. Not out of
Exactly.
business, running out of
No,
stock.
absolutely, yeah,
because
yeah.
you see it, and you guys are rubbing off. It's just not you two guys. It's
No,
guys.
it's the country.
But there's been fighters that have been doing online, like Shaun Lally.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude's been doing like
a
inspirational
personal trainer.
stuff
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff
He's a great
online for a
personal trainer.
while, like Instagram. He does like they have that IGTV that goes. You could do 15-minute segments.
Sure.
He was doing that in the past. Not saying that you were doing, but there was a lot of fighters out there doing videos as well.
I
So
wasn't
they were
because I
ahead.
wasn't thinking of.
They were
like,
ahead of the
that's
curve.
what I need to
I-
be
do you
doing.
think-
I thought of
Because
come to
didn't-
my dojo and you train. And
You know,
that's it.
do you think?
I didn't need to do it. Now I
Yes,
need to do
which
it, which
is
is
my
a
next
different
question.
Story.
Yeah.
Do you think when this is over, it's going to be it
Something
made
that
people?
you
I think it's a new
stronger
market. I think it's a
and
new market.
is, yeah,
I think it's a
100%.
new market. I think it's opened up a new market. I think, you know,
a market that was there just wasn't
it
utilized.
just wasn't
wasn't-
utilized. I mean, look at online learning in schools, right? I mean, I really think that our kids are going to benefit from this, and I think this is something that could really help our
I
children
think that parents are
long
going
term.
to hate you for saying this.
I agree. I
Hey,
agree.
listen, I got a
agree.
16-year-old daughter.
'Cause you
She
can't-
said she's learning more at home
Yeah,
on her
probably.
own.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing, right?
That's
So
absolutely-
they get to
so here's
do
the-
it at their own.
Well, every
Yeah.
kid has different learning styles,
right. Of
right? Every
course.
kid
We all know
learns
that.
different.
We teach kids, right?
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like this. Not that I'm saying it's the it's gonna put schools out of business, right? But what I'm saying is that this is gonna provide a new option, possibly for future learning, and I think I think it's gonna be at the end of the day a good experience for all of us around. Even for our younger kids, right? I have kids in my karate school that are, I do parent check-ins. I've been checking in on certain parents, just calling to see how things are. And and again, as you said, parents are gonna hate me for this because you can't put your kid in detention, right? You can't
Yeah.
send your kid to the principal's office. You can't suspend your kid. Right?
Yeah, that's it. What do you do?
And-
They're there.
and
Yeah.
The kids listen
all the
more at
parents
school than they
working
do at home.
Oh, well, yeah,
That's
so
the
hard.
reason why
Yeah.
kids that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old can stay home.
Exactly.
Like, you leave a kid that's 17 or 18 at home, that's a completely
Yeah.
different
Absolutely.
story.
Absolutely.
But the
You know what
parents,
I mean? But, like,
parents are going through
they're gonna
a
have
bunch.
to
Tough.
Because these
but-
kids, I mean,
But if this all goes back to regular whatever, right? Kids can't just stay home anymore.
No, not at
like
all.
school, that structure for parents to be able to go to work.
Yeah,
for those
exactly.
times is a
Yeah, yeah.
huge thing. Not everybody's gonna like continue to work from home, or
Yeah, of
nobody.
course.
No, if they can, maybe they don't want to.
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
one of the things that keep going is these kids and what you're supplying them with. The
So, yeah,
Zoom,
I've been-
what is like?
I've been doing Facebook Live videos.
Yeah, Ed Carr's going to call in like 5-6
Yeah,
minutes.
I've been doing
but
community
we'll talk a little
classes.
bit about that.
I just did my 6th community class today online using Facebook Live, and then what I'm gonna do is transition into Zoom, which is an application most schools have been using because it's more of a private setting, right, where only your students can log in.
You can log in a certain. All right,
Yeah,
so
which
they
is a
need
really great
code.
tool. So I'm going to transfer over that in April once we start going off the community and just focusing on our students.
Right.
So right now everything's been for the community to kind of help everyone, and then in April when we're going to transition to more of that, all right, members only type of thing. So that's kind of been my mentality with it.
And there's a ton of people doing
Yeah, it's great.
just their workouts.
Yeah.
Fighters at home doing workouts just to keep motivated and
people are back
showing
to those
people what they're doing.
prison workouts,
Fucking Rocky
running.
workouts in
Yeah.
Russia
Well, I mean,
and shit like
And I'll
that.
tell you
That
what, I
stuff
mean,
will
it's
make you
I was
sweat,
gonna
bro.
say, make you strong. I mean, look at Bo Jackson. There's a
Yeah.
document I was reading on Bo Jackson where he said that all he ever did was push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups. Never lifted weights in his life, and he was just a specimen. So I mean, these workouts,
Yeah, they're not
they
a
work.
joke, man.
You know,
You
I mean, they work.
Listen, people get bored and they get
Yeah.
into these mundane routines and whatever, and everyone's brain is a problem-solving machine to begin with, whether it's a high-firing machine or it's like some kind of potato chip eating lazy machine, but like every brain wants to solve problems. So you work out and you're like, how can I make this better? How can
Yeah.
I make myself stronger? How
absolutely.
can I make this faster, better, whatever, right? So now all doing like crazy things, like jumping off stairs with kettlebells tied to rubber bands, like. Like people are doing weird
He was doing
things.
kettlebells with the gallons of water today.
Yeah.
People are doing. People are doing stuff. But that old school, like, hey, listen, you watch a video of what they're doing in Thailand. Those guys are like still lifting cinder blocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, 5 pounds is 5 pounds.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't
matter
have to
what
be
it
a
is.
brand
I
new
agree.
kettlebell
Yeah.
from.
I mean, I've seen a couple of instructors.
Awesome, you got someone yelling at you to lift that friggin' rock, man.
Absolutely.
It helps.
Sandbags. I mean, you can make your own dumbbells at home. You can really use, like Shaun said,
5-gallon buckets, gallon jugs, and
no, I agree.
I mean,
shit, we had a ton of people back.
It is,
forth, man.
it's forcing us as business owners, like Shaun said, to think outside our box, and it's also like Shaun said, it's really. It's interesting, right? Because we're thinking differently, and we're thinking all these new outrageous things to do, and it's great for the community, I think. In a sense.
too?
It's giving them something to do. You know what I mean? There's only so much they can watch, and to stay motivated. I mean, you guys are friends, inside, outside the gyms, but
I can't stand this guy.
I know you were really pissed he was coming.
He just beats me up in sparring.
So, have you? Like spoken to other gyms, have you kind of Messenger's a huge network, so
community, man, know what it
absolutely.
is.
Yeah, everyone's messaging each other, seeing what we're doing, who's charging tuition, who's not, what's what are the plans moving forward, what's the steps moving forward? Because again, we're here for our clients. We listen, without our customers, without our community, we don't survive, and we know that, right? So it's our job to keep our community, keep our parents, keep our customers happy. So we're all, as a community, trying to work together as different business owners to, hey, what are you doing? And we're feeding each other with ideas. And it's been, from my outlook, and I'm a nonprofit organization, it's been very very welcoming. I've talked to multiple school owners, including Shaun.
Extremely supportive.
Yeah. No one wants to see each other
doing,
fail. That's what it comes down to.
Even you guys both know, you've been to my gym. I'm inside of a multi-level complex that's
with its own gym.
It's all gyms. Yeah, there's all these different spin room and lifting yoga room and yogas and this thing and that thing, right? So I'm like this separate side piece of a huge gym, right? So there's all these boot camp trainers and this and that. Everyone's swinging by and everyone's doing videos, and you see everybody like, we're all trying to fit the guidelines but still keep our people happy. So we're keeping the groups at a minimum under what the state's asking us to do, and doing it all outside so that it's all in open ventilated places. We're following every single Mass state guideline, and like you said, we've been in touch with Board of Health, come down and all that stuff. But again, we're just trying to keep everybody happy, and we appreciate to the fullest degree that people that are paying their membership still, and are asking for privates and asking what can we do, and hey, listen, my job's not affected by this. Like,
can I still pay
my
tuition?
Exactly. What can I do for you?
So what I did for that is I just posted today, Shaun. What we came with as a board was we're going to not charge any tuition for April. However, our members can pay. If they like to donate, they can donate their April membership fee.
Let it ride.
And I gotta say, we've had a great response so far. Day one, and everyone's been emailing me, hey, Shaun, Tom, please, I want we want you to keep in business, etc. So we're doing our best because we still want to pay our staff, even though we're not open. We still want to pay our staff. We still got to pay our our utility bills. We got to pay our insurance. I work closely with the Boys and Girls Club. Big shout out to the Boys and Girls Club. They are waiving our April's month rent, and I'm lucky because I know some gyms don't have that option. And much respect to those gyms that are being able to, continue to pay those bills, because rent's expensive.
Exactly.
And that for us as a nonprofit, that's our biggest overhead, right? Is our rent is our biggest overhead, than our staff and etc. But for those gyms that are still paying rent, I know Shaun said he's still paying rent. Yeah. These are the gyms we got to support. Not that I can't use the support, but I'll tell you what. As a nonprofit, we're able to do donations and stuff. So if we make it all right and we stay in the green, we don't mind helping out a guy like Shaun or something, because that's what it's about.
Exactly.
It's about keeping us together, and working together as a martial. Because Shaun just said it, we're a martial arts community. As much as yes, we're different businesses. But you know what? I always tell people there's so many potential martial arts students out there that we're never really in competition with each other. You know, and I think if we can all think that way, I think as a business we all will succeed. If we try to, you know, this school's better than this school and stop pointing fingers, and that's when we're gonna all fail drastically, right? I mean, you got the Planet Fitnesses and all these gyms out there, right? That's when that's gonna fail. But if we can all stay together and support each other,
Exactly.
we're gonna rise out of this. I think we're all gonna be okay. I hope.
Well, before I call Ed, just to you know, put something on that everyone like really cross trains. Everyone become a big unit in New England, which that's why, you know, why it's like that. I mean, the community in New England,
we all fight each other. We all, you know,
more than any other place. I mean, I've never seen it something like this. You know what I mean? So it's going to help.
You know, you're right about that, Domenico, because you know I look at a lot of the martial arts schools that are not involved in the combat sports community, and they are. They almost segregate themselves into my karate school is that's it, right? And I'm the greatest, and I get it. But the fight community is different, right? Because the reality is we all have working relationships. So our fighters are fighting your fighters. We're all learning from that. We're cross-training at gyms. So that's what I enjoy about the combat community, where we really directly are all, if we think about it, we're all business partners, right? Because if we don't have 100%. Students to compete, well, then we don't have a competition, you know? And so that's kind of what makes the combat sports interesting. You know?
Let me call Ed, but after we talk to Ed about what he's been doing, because he's in the New Hampshire area, and he's doing the Zoom, and I see him doing a lot. He's got a lot of kids on there, and you know I'm gonna let him explain and how he's doing things too. But it seems, you know, speaking to him, you know, a messenger and what's going on, he's saying he's getting a lot of feedback from that. You know, the video calling in is keeping the kids motivated at home. He's having like classes during the day. And he's innovating. There's different things he's adding on there. Like you're gonna, you know, everyone's using the Zoom. You're getting involved. You're in it. So
I'm starting in April.
I mean, who knows? You know, you never know down the line. Everyone, you know, people can connect on that in some ways. Gym to gym, and we don't know. This is ever evolving, and like you said, we can become stronger. But after we get off the phone with Ed, I want to talk about promotions and and you know how much this is hurting them, and you know how long you think it's gonna be before
fighters are gonna be itching for competition.
And you know, once they
position 2 weeks ago,
I'm still getting the itch.
Here's the thing: once they lift the band, and I had Kevin McDonald on, he goes, "It isn't like they flick a switch and we're fighting again."
No.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be get back in camps.
Like you said, it's going to be ladders and steps of where.
It's going to have an effect.
You know. Absolutely. All right, let me call Ed Carr right now because I kept him waiting a little bit. Not really. 5 minutes.
5 minutes isn't bad.
Yeah, usually I'm like,
oh,
look at how clear that sounds. Why don't you come in like that?
What's going on, Steve?
Hey, Ed Carr. How are you, my man? Let me put it down a little bit.
I'm doing awesome, brother.
Thanks for calling in, Ed. Tough times right now, but you're making the best of it. I don't know if you've been tuning in, but I've had Shaun and Tom on here talking all about what they've been doing to survive while, you know, things have been shady. Dude, you know, how are you feeling about it, and what's going through your mind as far as when it first hit you that you can't have people in your camp or your gym training under you?
You know, it's a little bit different in New Hampshire than some of the, you know, it's been interesting. I gotta be honest with you, Steve, if I technically wanted to be open and have some small classes, I could, but it's not the smart thing to do. From a lot of points of views, you got to be safe. You know, my standing in the community too. You know, and being a leader and stuff like that. But the reality of things is, this is, you know, New Hampshire's interesting. They don't seem to be taken as serious as some of these other states are, for sure. But with that being said, I'm nervous, dude. I'm scared. I'm stressed out.
Well, Ed, you in New Hampshire, you guys got the 6 feet rule all covered, all the area you guys got in New Hampshire.
Yeah, you guys are spread out over there. Yeah, but, I mean, there's some real congested areas. I'm kidding. But you know, Ed. So what you're saying, New Hampshire, you could still have people in the gym and training with you?
If I wanted to have 10 and under,
okay,
I could. But you know what? It's
Can
not worth it.
Can they be indoors? Can you be indoors with them?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I could have a small group, but it's not worth it. Think about
it's not.
I agree.
the danger of this and what could happen. You know, and I thought about it, and I'm kind of stubborn. I admit I'm stubborn. And I'm like, I'm going to stay open. Yeah. Then I thought about it. What if one of my students comes in and is sick? One, this virus is very, very serious. Two, they're going to track it down that they got it from Tokyo Joe Studios or whatever. He brought it into Tokyo Joe Studios. And then the whole community of students that I have, you know, and this and that, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree, Ed. I mean, and as a martial arts leader in the community, you're aware of that. And I think our students are kind of looking to us to a certain extent to kind of make that decision as well and be a leader. So I thank you for that personally.
Yeah, it was. I'll give you honest, it was tough. You know,
Absolutely.
This is something I've been doing for over the school itself for 21 years, and I just, you know.
Hey, as a kid, I competed in one of
hard.
your tournaments as a kid, so I remember. The Tokyo Joe Classic. I'll never forget it.
You guys are a bunch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You guys are a bunch of old motherfuckers.
I know. I'm young in age, older than
Jesus.
martial arts. Yeah?
Yeah,
Hey, I still have the trophy at the dojo, buddy. I promise. Tokyo Joe Classic. I still got it.
That's funny as hell, man. The Tokyo Joe's Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great tournament back in the day.
Now it's
But,
now it's basement beatdown.
I was 8. Not to make you old, Ed. I was 11, bud. Sorry.
all right. That was a little bit. But I tell you what, I'll say this. That's when you could actually hit and point karate.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Now it's everything. Now they're practicing the 6-foot rule.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
love it.
So that's
But
what
I will say this, Steve. You know, I did struggle with it, but I had to take a look at myself, who I am in the community, and this and that, and, you know, and be like, this is the right thing to do, the smart thing to do. And, you know, I got a great group of people here helping me. And this online thing was completely new, you know, and I threw it together. I have more people in my online classes than I do in regular classes.
That's awesome.
And I've been averaging about 30 people a class.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go ahead.
Now, Ed, like you said,
Yep.
did you know how to do any of this stuff, or did you just you had to adapt and you had to figure something out to get to these kids?
You know, some of it was common sense. Some of it was like common sense, but I do have, you know, great people in the school helping me out. And, you know, I get Nick Alley helping. You know, I know every once in a while when she can, Carrie Kennison helps. I've had Brent Kimberger, Walter Smith. All those guys have all put a part into helping. And so, yeah, they helped me put it together. And here I am. And I tell you what, I was nervous as hell being in front of that camera trying to, you know, teaching kids karate. I can do that all day long blindfolded.
It's true.
You know, that's nothing. But
Yep.
when you try and teach kids BJJ, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I created I don't know if you've seen it, a BJJ dummy challenge.
That's cool.
I challenged all the kids and adults to make their own BJJ dummy. And we post pictures of it and this and that. And the 3 kids that were in the BJJ class had dummies. It made it so easy to teach.
That's awesome.
No shit. So you're giving the kids something to do at home, creating
Well,
that too, and then they got something to practice with.
That's great.
They're going to win a free T-shirt, a free uniform, you know, for the best dummy when the week's up. You know, so we're making it a contest.
Yeah, that's something I've been doing a little bit. I did a Facebook contest as well of like post your pictures or share a video of you working out. And then I entered every week. We did a weekly drawing they'll get a free one-on-one, like 20, 30-minute private lesson. So that's good to see you guys doing
100%.
Contests.
Yeah, I even, it's funny. I've had some of my MMA guys come to me and be like, because they know me as this rough and tough goofball, Ed Carr from the Militich days, coach guy. They never really see me do my martial arts.
Yeah, same
So
here.
I posted a couple videos of doing some forms.
Yeah, some
and,
I
stuff
saw it.
like
I
this.
saw it. I saw it there. It was awesome. It was great. I love it.
And I made it a form challenge so these kids can learn those forms.
That's great.
And if they send in the video, the same thing of them doing the form.
Yep.
and stuff like that, they're going to win a T-shirt.
That's great.
You know, so I'm trying to keep them interactive as much, you know, with me. I love being with them. I didn't want to create a curriculum of having them following a video online or from YouTube or doing this and that. I wanted to interact with them.
Yeah, that's great. And how is Zoom? Is Zoom been pretty good for you, Ed?
I tell you what, Zoom's been great.
Great.
No, it's been great. I got a nice 55-inch TV downstairs. Goes through the computer, plugs in, click on, and I got a good little camera from Microsoft right on top of the TV, and it's right in the boxing ring, and then it worked out great.
Perfect.
Now, Ed, with the Zoom, you're allowed to have multiple students chime in all at once on the screen, so you can teach all these kids and you can see them, right?
Yes, and that's been, you know, I don't know what other people are doing, but for me, because I like the interaction, that's been the great thing. I've had more comments and more people come to me and say, thank you so much for doing this. My daughter can see her friends. My daughter can interact with you. You know, we love you. We love your teeth. You know, so it's been really good to have that interaction with them. And you're right. I'm in the middle of the screen. They're around me. I'm doing my stuff. I demonstrate. I look at them. I watch them do it. And I can actually say, hey, Steve, put your right leg back, not your left leg.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. Stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Hey, now, Ed, what I asked Tom and Shaun, because, you know, they're not too far away. You're a couple hours away. As far as the community and gyms around there, have you guys been working with each other as far as talking to each other and trying to, you know, connect and see what each is doing to get by?
Oh, 100%. Like, that's been the cool thing about martial arts. You know, we all have rivalries. Like, you know, we've all been in rivalries with Renzo Gracie. We've all had fights with PMA. We've all, with Staff Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Dave Spiro's martial arts. We've all had these. But I've called them all up and asked them, what are you guys doing? What's the scenario? And they've called me and asked me what I'm doing. So it's kind of brought us together.
That's great. That's great.
You know, which is good, you know, because a lot of times you just see each other at fights, hey, how's it going? Yeah, talk to you later. But it's made us all kind of work together. And, you know, it's been fun seeing everyone post this stuff. And I'm not going to lie. I say, I like that idea. I'm stealing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, people are giving information away on how to do this. I mean, because, you know, you're not in competition each other because you have your own students already. It ain't like you're taking someone else's students.
Well, not for nothing, but the people that want the information are going to go on to YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's at everybody's fingertips.
You're their coach. They want to see you.
Yeah,
There's
might as well
there's
do
no
it.
secret anymore,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Them days are over.
Yep.
So,
You might as well give it away.
yep. I agree.
Now, Ed,
Yeah.
have you? I know you're a busy guy out there, but you do have time on your hands and stuff like that. Is this something that you, you know, you can share with other coaches how you're doing the Zoom, or give like a, you know, a live version of how you set it up or something? You know what I mean? Because you can connect a lot of people that way.
Actually, what's going to happen is I've worked on something different. Because the main school, of course, is Tokyo Joe's and Team Links, the MMA BJJ side. I'm creating a thing called TokyoJoes.tv. It's going to be an online video service. All the classes will be live. All my students will have a password. I won't be going through Zoom much.
Yeah.
But we're using that. And there's going to be videos. I took Nick Alley and I and Walter Smith Catito and Miguel, and all of us have been filming videos. We're going to have videos all up there, but we're going to have our live classes also up there. You know, kind of like a little on-demand thing, but of course free.
Yeah. So you can go back. It's like your own YouTube channel kind of thing that you can go back and look at stuff, right?
And that's what I did as well.
100%.
I did a student parent portal that has a password, and then I sent all the parents a password that they can get online on the website, and I have all my content, special content as well on that website. So I see where you're going with it. That's a good idea as well.
And the thing that's cool, that what you're doing to get ready for that is you're working out the kinks, you're learning
Yeah,
little
that's
things.
great.
So when it actually does hit that, it'll kind of look like something. So Ed, would I ask these two guys, and I'm sure a lot of people agree as far as in the martial arts community, is this making coaches and students and fighters smarter, and is this going to make the community stronger once we get out of this?
Oh, 100%. This is a learning experience for everyone. And, you know, the fighters are learning a lot. You know, I've even learned a lot. Like, you know, you think about the small things that we do in the gym. I have, you know, I don't have it anymore, but we used to have the gear just everywhere. Hey, if you don't have any gear, you want to do okay, come on in. We got even though I clean, you got to think about all that stuff. It's made me a smarter business owner on taking care of even though I got a very clean school, but the smaller things that could make a big difference.
Yeah, big time.
And, the fighters the same way. They become a lot smarter in the way they train, the way they take care of themselves, the way they even take care of their own gear and everything.
Excellent. So, last question before I let you go,
Yep.
Ed. Can you, will you be able to maintain doing what you're doing? Like, how long can you maintain this before, like, you know what I mean? It's like, wait,
it's tuition, right? Of course.
I mean, this is going to be a bit, this is going to help your business in the long run once we get out of this. But, how long can we limp around like this just doing online? Is what I'm saying.
And that's a funny thing. Like New Hampshire's in no stay-at-home, process or anything yet. That's a big rumor that we will be. And we don't really know how long this is going to be. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not even going to think about that, really, Steve.
Yeah.
Because the reason being is this: I'm just going to keep plugging away and keep trying, and I'm just going to where it falls, because I know I work hard. I know I got a great team. I know I got great people, great instructors, and I'm just going to keep plugging away and I'm pretty confident I'm going to beat it. So
awesome. Anything you want to ask or say to Ed before I let him go?
I mean, we commend you, and we were saying the same thing. It's the karate way. You adapt, you overcome, you just take whatever you got and you deal with it, and you do the best you can with it. So, you can't think too far ahead. It's got to end sometime.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Hey, one on a side note, I even got some old Tokyo Joe's footage I'm going to send to you guys.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Awesome. Hey, well, Ed, listen, everyone's, they're on halt, they're on idle as far as things they want to. We got this New England website coming over down the line. We'd like to borrow some of that footage off you to add in there at some point. So I'll be reaching out to you to steal some of that down the line. But Ed, last thing, shout out all your information, how we get in touch with you. I know you're doing so many great things online. I know you're all over Instagram, all over Facebook, and you got that that TV, Ed TV, Tokyo Joe's TV going on. So shout out every kind of social network you want to throw out there for us.
You can hit me up at, of course, my name, Edward Carr, on Facebook, Tokyo Joe's Team Link on Facebook, the school page. Instagram is Tokyo Joe Studios. You can hit me up on that. I got a Twitter, the same thing, Tokyo Joe Studios. And, of course, my email, TokyoJoe'sHookset@Comcast.net.
Awesome. Well, Ed, thank you so much for coming on, man. I've been dying to talk to you, man. I've been watching you. I mean, I was asking you pointers on Messenger. Hey, Ed, how do you do this? Like, how you Skype? How you Skyping all these people in? And man, you're definitely a great guy and very informative on your ideas and stuff. So I commend you on keeping it going and keeping these kids motivated. And dude, God bless you and keep it rolling.
Hey, and then one last thing, bro. Whatever you need, you've done so much for the martial arts community, for MMA, New England MMA, my team, everything. Whatever you need, content, anything, let me know. We got you.
All right, my man. Have a great night, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more from you on, on social media.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Take care, bud.
So that was awesome right there. So let's talk about this TV thing he was messaging. That's a way to keep.
So it's a way to keep your private, right? So we post things on like Facebook Live where everyone can see. So what do we do as a business to start thinking outside the box of, okay, you're paying us membership fees. What can we do to keep it in-house, right? So I think that's a great way that he's doing it to keep it only to his students, right?
Yeah.
Now again, that's not to say he can't give the password out to others in the community, but at least it's a way where if I'm a member,
You
I
feel you're
like,
getting
yeah, all right,
something.
I'm paying for a service and I'm getting my coach,
Right.
only my coach. It's not,
It's in my living room.
Exactly. So I think that's a great idea. Like I said, right now I set up like a student parent portal on my website where it requires a password, where everything that I've been posting is on there, but I've also been adding some like special, just little content here and there. Yeah. My plan is in April to move to Zoom. Because again, I kind of want that one-on-one interaction where I can say, "Hey, Johnny, fix your left leg," or something like that. But I think the TV things are, again, it's making us all think like, all right, how do we continue to do this type of thing?
Right.
So I like the idea. I think it's exciting. I think like Shaun said, it's forcing us to really just be creative, man.
Awesome. Well, let's switch to fighting.
Yeah.
For a second. I mean, we've been on all about
Yeah,
coaching, business. You had a fight coming up. How do you keep yourself active? I mean, you're an active fighter. Tom, active.
I gotta do 15 online videos a day. So
well, yeah. So you're working out. All right, yeah, but that's not.
I'm swinging water jugs.
Yeah,
like
but
a champ
that's
everywhere.
not doing pads with Graham and doing some
sparring rounds,
with John Howard and stuff.
Sucks.
How are you?
Kidding me?
Do you have a dummy at home, a pillow you're beating up? Like, how do you get your aggression?
He owns a
out?
gym. He doesn't need a dummy. He can go in and use it.
Yeah, but he wants to beat up he wants some of the student
I isolate and eat pizza.
Is that what's going on? You at 185 now? Fuck that lightweight shit.
That's awesome.
Hey, it's
tough.
No,
it's a great question.
You need it. It's
so I guess the question too is like, how do you as a fighter see the big picture, right? Like you're one of the most active fighters in literally in New England. How do you, like, what's the plan for you? Are you like putting yourself through like, all right, I'm gonna use this time to take time off, because fighters right now could say, I'm gonna take some time off, heal my injuries, right?
They have to,
and kind of rest, or like Shaun, who's a guy like this is his life, like he does this every day. It's like, how's that working?
Well, I think that's kind of the difference, right? Between
always stay ready, right? That
yeah,
motto.
well, not just that, but not every fighter owns a business.
Correct.
So some of these guys their gym is closed. They got laid off of work, or they're essential personnel, so they're still kind of going about their lives. They're doing their thing, whatever it is. My mentality switched completely into my business, because when I'm in fight camp, it's constantly a juggling act.
100%.
It's being on social media, it's opening the door at 6 a.m., it's going to pad work, it's going to sparring, it's going to strength and conditioning, it's back to my own guys, it's back to my own privates, it's trying to make rent, and then that's not even including a personal life, my family, my girlfriend, any of that stuff. So it's constantly a juggling act. So lately it's like I'm just doing less stuff. I'm just all focused on my business. It's like, I mean,
now you're still doing bag work and everything.
Sucks, but yeah, I mean, I work out because I own the place,
correct.
right? So it's
same thing with me. I've been lifting weights and stuff, just trying
and hit your own bags. Like, listen, I just have 10 bags and a 3,000 square. You know what I mean? Like, you got one bag in your basement. I got fucking 10. Like, so it's the same thing.
Doing spinning fucking back fists all over that fucking place.
A lot of room.
That's
a lot of room for cartwheels.
So cartwheels. All right, so let's get to MMA, mixed martial arts, more everything. Like,
there's nothing.
I
It's
know,
all hit,
but,
man. Like,
but what is this doing?
So UFC,
what is this doing?
UFC, like Calvin Cater's still training for a fight, I'm hearing, right?
Is it for 249? They all think they're going to 249.
Right, I think
was he scheduled to be on that card?
Yeah, he's on that card. Yeah, Calvin Cater's on that card. So I think
he was scheduled to be on the Khabib, and or they lobbying to be on it now because their cards got canceled. I think Jorgen wants to be on that card because his card got canceled. I saw him put a post up today with UFC 249 with a question mark. So I think they want to get on that card if it happens. Supposedly that card is happening, but that's UFC. No other cards are happening.
No, he's on the card. He's fighting Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, I knew I just didn't know it was on
April
that card.
18th. Yeah,
all
it's
right,
on
excellent.
that card. Yeah. So I guess
we
he's
don't
still
know
in camp.
where it is. It could be in fucking
Right now it's scheduled
Russia.
for
It's
nothing.
in Area 51. Probably.
Something like that.
Crazy.
So
Area 51.
as far as fighting, I mean,
Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah.
I mean,
New Mexico.
I mean, you're not
In a
as-
volcano.
I mean, you're active. It's Muay Thai, but we got these MMA cards all over the place. That at least 4 or 5 of them canceled just locally.
Yeah.
And then that from April. who knows what's going to go on in
I mean,
May.
look at Cage Sayers. They had two cards.
Two cards
back
happening
then.
in a week and a half. He was on the the
He
Saturday
was on
card.
the
I do
he
believe.
was on the Muay Thai card.
What does this do? Like to
Breaks a lot
and
of
not
fighters'
only
hearts.
not only the waiting game financially to these cards that got shut down.
So the good news is that
Like,
promoters aren't
right at
losing
the
money.
last minute.
So the good
Yeah,
news,
for sure. They're
So
not-
promoters
they're not
aren't
spending
losing money.
anything.
Well, no, I don't want to say that because they still spent money on advertising. They still spent. I'm sure they still wanted to pay their staff.
Of
I doubt they had to
But
pay
they're
the
not,
commission.
They're not spending that
But they're not
money.
spending as much, right? So I don't. But obviously, promoters are losing money because they have a schedule of when their cards go off,
Sure.
and that's their income, right? They expect to make that income based on their experience,
Yeah.
of ticket sales, etc.
Yeah, right.
So it's definitely hurting promoters, but at the same time, I feel like they're not losing money. I guess is the way
They're idling.
they're
right?
idle,
They're
right? Yeah, exactly. They're
Yeah.
idle. I mean, even like something as crazy with me, like we were going to do another kids kumite.
The 28th or 28th.
25th, 25th, and I can't do it. There's no way. Kids haven't been in the gym. There's no kids are going to sign
Yeah.
up for it, So we're going to postpone it. I was going to do a karate tournament in May. It's no way.
Well,
It's not gonna happen,
There's
you know?
my next question.
Now, so did I lose
We-
money on it? No. Had it dragged out a couple more weeks, and then I decided
you
to cancel, I
invested
definitely would have
money in
lost
it,
money.
yeah.
But I was able to kind of pull it early, where it's,
So
and that's on a very small scale. So
having
I can see it.
having Kevin McDonald on last week.
That was
right?
huge.
He was talking about, like we talked about, they flipped that switch that we can have,
Yeah.
community get-togethers and crowds. It's still going to be some time before MMA.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking because you know how behind the times the commissions are already. Never mind when they let us do this again. He says this is the MMA is going to mixed martial arts is going to be the last thing they think about.
Yes.
Getting rolling.
Correct. Health wise,
Yes,
Yes.
yes
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. I mean,
So-
you're looking at probably like 2-3 more months delay on that, if not more, because I mean, like you said, MMA is like Kevin's right. It is literally the last thing that's on the mind of
The state
governors,
Yes.
states. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that is the last thing they're thinking about right now because MMA is considered entertainment at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right. It's an entertainment type of business. So yeah, I mean,
So
it's
here,
gonna hurt.
all right.
It's gonna-
See how you're thinking out of the box as far as business owners and getting your shit online. Do you think there's a good promotion because you're saying May? It could be the fucking summer before we get an MMA card.
An approved
Do you
MMA
think-
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that promotions are already starting to think, how can I get a card going without having
Smokers.
people there
FaceTime.
or doing something like you were talking about? Do
Promotion-wise,
just a all pay-per-view card with nobody, no
That's
one
probably-
in
yeah, I mean,
attendance.
that's
or
probably you're gonna see. I mean, that's probably gonna have to be.
I
the
mean,
way.
there's
Right?
gonna come a time when someone's just gonna go, I can't take
Well,
this
I don't even
anymore,
see how
and I
that'll
gotta
work,
do something
Because I mean,
Well, then my thing is you still got 20, 30 fighters
in
a
the
room.
same
Right.
area.
So you can't do it right now. I mean, maybe
No.
if the band's
But
lifted
when the
to
band's lifted
100 or
and-
whatever, 200 people,
It's gonna
then,
have
yeah.
to start on a small
Oh, yeah.
scale.
and it's gonna have to start online, just like what's going on with business owners. They're gonna have to do let's say the minimum or the maximum is 200 people. They're gonna have to do literally, like you said, Steve, a pay-per-view only card where there's maybe
There's
a little
no
bit of
fans.
media, enough for the
Maybe.
fighters. Because now remember, 200 people is not a lot of people. You think about the doctor,
All
the
the
commissioners,
yeah.
all the
listen,
commissioners,
you got 30
the
fights.
coaches,
You got
the
four
fighters.
people or people per
because
fight.
That's a fighter
Per fighter,
and a coach.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Two,
you know what
well,
I mean?
3 coaches per fighter. I mean, think
Sometimes,
about it. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's only
Well,
on one side.
2 referees.
All right, let me ask you a
the
question.
judges.
60
How did
people
they
versus
do it? How did
120
they do
people
it
right off
in
the rip.
Brazil when no people were there? How many people you think they had in there?
I'm gonna say
And
probably
the laws are
250,
different in
300.
250 people.
Probably 250,
So they
300.
see that was the thing. Like it could have been done if they didn't, which they had to. They had to
Right.
limit how many people, and they had to, quarantine and do
absolutely.
that. But when we're out of the water, the deep water, and we can start putting things together.
I mean, just think of timekeepers. I mean, all the little things that go into. Forget about ring girls, Steve. It's all
listen.
over.
There might be
Come on,
other
ring
ways
girls.
to do it remotely, not even being there. You know what I mean?
there you
As
go.
far as stuff like that.
No, I
You know
agree.
what I mean? You might just need the doctor and the fucking one coach.
So, but that's
You know what
something
I
that
mean?
the
Or,
state is going to
you
have
know.
to approve. And like we
Right.
said, look
Yeah,
how
they don't
far
care.
Yeah,
behind our
that's the
state
last
is
thing
on
they're gonna
things.
think
They're not
of.
going to think about that. I
So
mean,
we're
they
gonna,
might.
We're
Well,
going to
what's
talk
it say
about
about-
backyard brawls in
What
the
do you
middle
say
of the
when
summer, right?
Tokyo
Are we
Joe's
going to
wants
go to
to
Black
fight in
Friday?
Rhode Island?
I mean,
Kimbo-
I
Kimbo
can
Slice,
I
you
can
know?
stream them.
I said, what about when somebody from another state wants to fight in
Yeah.
Rhode Island, right? So what if Mass's ban is lifted and
Correct.
Rhode Island's
They're gonna
not?
go
So
through
then
that
they're
What
gonna
happens?
go to a different
Yeah,
commission.
it's going
I
to be
mean,
like visas.
Not to put damper on people.
So now my question to you is
shit,
this,
but
and I know this is the last
that
thing
one
to think
out yet?
about, but this is for fighters because amateur fighters, and this is this is a question for this Massachusetts State Athletic Commission, because I feel as if this is an important question that I'm going to ask. I have a fighter who just got licensed, right, in 2020. He spent the $50. He's an amateur fighter, works at home. Here's a scenario: works at Home Depot, doesn't make a lot of money. He's been laid off now the whole summer. It's 2021 now before he can compete. Is he still going to have to renew his license when he wasn't able to compete? That's a big question we'll have to
Well,
ask.
that's the last thing they're going to look at.
But I understand. But
You know
the
what I mean?
problem though
Fuck
is,
you, kid.
But Steve,
give me the $50.
yeah, but
I will worry about it
but
later.
the problem is that's the first thing these fighters are going to look at. It's an expense. Fighting's an
Yeah,
expense.
I mean, they're going to start saying, "Well, I paid this. I
See what I'm
want to,
saying?
you know."
So these are
yeah.
these are a lot of
I
little
think
things
there's a
that.
bunch of. I think there's a bunch.
Is there
of that
anything we can
happening
do to get ready for this?
across the board? Though people are looking at that on a huge scale.
Look at my
where
medicals,
they're
right? I got
talking
my
about-
medicals done.
Yeah.
Now we've been delayed, and my
That's the
medical's
last
still
thing
good.
they're going to let you do is get your medical. We don't have the.
But that's what I'm
capability
saying.
Right
But these
now.
are. But I'm bringing up these
Yeah.
scenarios.
Right.
These are what we're facing.
It's gonna be a lot of
This
hurt.
is going to be.
My blood work's only good for 6 months.
Yeah.
So
So-
I got to spend another
So
X amount of
$80
dollars
now,
on
yeah,
So here we go.
blood work.
Now this is when we fall into another category. You have a business.
$80. You got insurance?
Now here's the thing: when we're allowed to do this,
$275 or something. The whole thing. I don't remember what
when
it was.
we're allowed to
I
do
spent
this
so
again,
much money for CES. Oh my god! It was
when,
brutal.
when we're allowed to do this again, or when you're allowed to have people in the gyms and start,
Yeah.
your business again, we have these fighters here that's all they do. They're full-time fighters. They'll be able to train, but they're still not going to be able to get
Fights.
fights. What are they gonna? Some
Listen,
of these fighters,
I mean,
that's all they do. That's what they need.
you know what
That's
it's
their-
time? It's time for them to start thinking outside the box
Yes.
themselves and maybe teaching more lessons for their gym owners.
That's
or
when we get everyone
making-
gets stronger and learns from the.
You're gonna. I
what's
mean,
going
the
on.
reality is they're gonna. It's everyone's gonna be impacted. I mean, all the way down from
Yeah,
the.
if you're not already.
Well, that's
I
what I
mean,
mean. I mean, and all the way down
you
from the
will
judges who
soon
get
be
paid to the
soon.
referees that get paid. I mean, look, everyone's out of a job. The whole combat sports industry is
Yeah.
shut down at the moment, and it's gonna take a while. And
Get on UFC 249 for a minute.
Yeah.
How
How
you
does
can't,
it
there's
happen?
no flying in and out of the countries, right? How are they going
It's
to
all gonna
fly?
be local.
and my other thing is too.
It's got to be in the United
Well,
States
but
where
it-
they're
it's
having
gotta
this
be-
fight.
But another
It's
thing
gotta
too is
be
if you
all-
fly domestically, you have a 14-day quarantine
Yes,
automatically.
wherever
so,
you land.
So you're gonna have to fly 3 weeks out. They're gonna have to fly all these fighters 3 weeks out so they can do their 14-day quarantine.
They're flying right now. I mean, what do they do? I mean,
That's right. I don't know how that works. That's
well,
what
this
I mean.
will be a template of
Yeah.
how you're going to be able to do it, whatever they're doing as far as the big
Now
stages.
are they all gonna get tested? Right. So that's the other thing, right?
Which
We're
again,
talking about medicals.
you talk
Is
about-
COVID-19 test going to be a part of the new medicals? Are we going to have to get tested for COVID-19?
There's
Right?
there's
Shush.
essential people though that aren't getting medical tests.
Yeah,
I'm
because
essential.
it's not enough.
We're testing
I'm essential.
we're testing NBA players,
I can't show.
but
But we're not testing.
nobody that works
Nurses
in the
that are-
hospitals
yeah,
getting
yeah,
it's
fucking
insane.
tested.
It's-
No
it's-
doctors, nurses,
It's insane.
EMTs,
Yeah.
firefighters.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting tested.
Yeah, it's
they're
insane.
running out of masks. They're running out of gloves. They're running out of supplies.
So it's
to
safe
treat
to say
this.
MMA
Sanitizers.
is
It's
going to be
madness.
idle for
Well,
a
The
well,
whole
long
thing's
well,
madness.
think about it.
They
Like,
throw
look at-
enough money at
look
it.
at toilet
though, like,
paper.
apparently, the NBA's throwing money at it. So
Yeah. Look at toilet
Again.
paper, Sean.
it's mad. It's insane.
I mean, who would ever think that we would have a shortage of toilet paper?
Why would we? I don't know. Even know.
I don't get it still. I mean, but I mean, good for everyone. But I don't know.
I get napkins from Dunkin' Donuts, but you all know that.
I've seen your
already.
posts.
Fucking-
You know
I
what's
got a
funny though?
glove compartment
I'm not
full
gonna
of
lie to
them.
you, because you've been saying that. I've been having some in my side.
I'm telling you, everyone's thinking out of the box. Even fucking Dunkin' Donuts napkin shit's happening.
Oh, I love it.
All right, I gotta share that. So, my Instagram went
Yeah.
off. So we've been going an hour, dude.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up.
I think it was very informative. So, Shaun, anything new coming out tomorrow for you? What are we doing? I mean, here's a good thing. The weather's getting better. The weather's gonna get better.
So
Can
it
you
should help the sickness.
Well, the
can you
things-
do things outside?
Things a change in hourly for us. So I mean, it's constantly a check-in. It's constantly, going back to the radio, going back to the TV, and seeing what's going on at the grassroots level.
Yeah.
In general, because it's day to day for everybody, but especially for people that are business owners and whatever. So, again, my town gave me my strict guidelines to follow, plus whatever I'm reading off of the Massachusetts government website. So, lifting weights, being active, going for walks, being outside, all that stuff is what they're recommending. Guy says we can lift weights. Everybody stays 6 feet apart, gets their own weights, gets their own little piece of the parking lot. Everything else is shut down. I'm in an industrial park.
Yeah.
Nobody's like driving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, plus on top of that, I'm not doing any groups, so it's all private. So I'm controlling the flow of who's showing up. You do your hour, you leave. There's 10 minutes in between the next person. You wipe down the equipment, or you don't even use the same equipment. You let it wipe down. You sanitize it 2 or 3 times, whatever it is. When they're done, then before I bring it out to the next group, so it gets done after you use it, and then it gets put away. Time passes, it gets brought out, but it's sanitized the second time before Tom uses it now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like Ed said on the phone. Everyone's being super cautious. We're using 2-3 times more concentration and focused on keeping everybody safe, keeping everything sanitized, keeping it clean. On
I wipe
little
my
stuff
walls. We're
that
cleaning.
Yeah.
I mean, little things that
little
we.
stuff
I've
you
been.
never
I've
do
been.
it slide.
Yeah.
You'd let it
Yeah, I know.
slide for
Yeah.
I've been
however
washing
long,
my walls. I've been. I mean, yeah, like little things you do. You never. Yeah, you do. You let them slide, and this is really brought
Or
awareness.
you don't
like,
think
wow.
about it
No.
even, until you're like, oh, don't touch anything.
Yeah, it's like,
what
oh,
the heck? It's
yeah.
on everything.
Your Lysol
you
and
know,
everything,
you
handle
Lysol
everything.
everything. I'm like handrails, but like not just the rails that people touch, like
No,
the
yeah.
bottom and
Yeah.
the stairs, and like,
Because you just don't know.
because you just don't know, right?
Yeah, it's
how many
definitely been an
times I've
eye-opener.
sprayed the door handle? How many times do I don't think about it, but
It's funny because every
now I
every
do.
day I walk out now, we got Lysol. We spray all the railings up and down every time I leave the gym. And it's something we've never. I mean, we've never done that ever.
You don't think about it.
No, the walls. I literally was washing walls, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever washed these walls, like ever.
All right, last question before we wrap out. Do you know anyone that has the coronavirus?
Negative.
Negative.
I don't.
Do you?
Negative.
I have had a couple of
I've had some people with
people
quarantine.
that are tested,
Me too.
but it's more
Or
like
fell ill or something? But
it's more like a student knew somebody that knew.
yeah,
somebody,
exactly.
You know
But
what I
no
mean?
one directly.
Like,
I had
and
a student.
a lot
that
of people
was-
I've spoken
yeah.
to. I mean, it's not. Everyone doesn't have it, and
It's very
there's not
private if
reported
they do.
cases of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I see a lot of posts on Facebook, people putting up, do you know anyone that has it? And some people say, yeah, but a lot of it is, I know a friend of a friend of a friend.
Hey,
that
Prince Charles has
knows
it.
someone I'm sorry to laugh, but giggle. Prince Charles, yes.
Prince Charles has it.
Yes, celebrities can get the coronavirus.
Yeah, it's very
along
true.
with children,
old
middle
people,
age, old people.
everybody can get it.
Yeah.
Everyone get it. So guys, last thing, man. Last words from each one of you, and give out how we get in touch with you, and any last words you could say to other gym owners or people out there that are trying to get through this. Go ahead, Tom. You first. He's gonna steal from you.
No, it's alright. He's the best for last. I just gotta say, guys, just stay safe out there. Use the most precautionary possible. Do what you gotta do for your family, and whatever you feel comfortable with. There's no wrong answer here, and I think that's the message that we're trying to kind of really like Shaun said. We're all adapting. We're always trying to figure this all out. But you'd rather be safe than sorry, especially when you got children and elderly involved. And as a martial artist in the community, the last thing I want to have on my soul is, we helped bring this thing to the forefront and help it spread. We don't want to do that. Martial arts, is very important for a lot of people for many different reasons. It's an outlet, right? It's an outlet to escape the everyday struggles of life. It's an outlet to mentally put yourself in another place. It's an outlet physically to get better and and get in shape and stay healthy, right? Because if you're healthy, you can beat some type of virus like this, right? And we can continue to still do martial arts. Martial arts does not stop for anything. And as a community, I'm really happy to see that all of us are working together to continue martial arts. It's not like we all just threw our hands up and said, we're going to close down and we're done. We didn't do that. And that's based on our martial arts training. And we hope, and I hope as an instructor, that I can be a leader and someone who you guys can look to for some inspiration, advice, to keep going and keep fighting this battle. I have a 5-year-old, daughter who has asthma. And yeah, it scares me, man. I think there's not a day that doesn't go by where that doesn't cross my mind and say, man, right? It does. Yeah. It's on everyone's mind. Yeah. But we can't give up, and we just gotta be safe. We gotta be, we gotta really do whatever you feel is right for your family. Do it. Don't worry about it. If you want to quarantine your family, no one's gonna judge you, nor should they. Do what you gotta do. And I'm gonna be here as long as I can to continue to spread martial arts and the love and keep going.
Awesome. Shaun?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, we're just here for support, so I'm not running my business as usual, but I still go to my gym every day, look and put the camera in front of my face, something that I never would in a million years think about doing, because that's not my style. It's not my personality to get on the Facebook or get on the FaceTime and selfies and all that. Like, it's just not my style, but it's forced me to go down this other road. And you do have to kind of get outside your comfort zone a little bit. You got to do stuff that's new and change your business to fit what's going on right now. And martial arts has always been just yourself. It's your mind, your body, your spirit. It's what you do. It's how you carry yourself through the whole day. And when I opened my first karate school and I was doing classical martial arts, we didn't have any equipment. It was your belt and your gi and your patches and the community of people that was around you, and it was constantly just like jumping jacks and punching the air and like stand on one foot, balance, kick, side kick, front kicks, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of this new way of doing stuff is kind of like the old way of doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I said that the other day. You don't have any of this new equipment. You don't have any of these new machines. You don't have any of this, measure my punch. I mean, listen, dude, like, it's fill up your bathtub with ice. It's grab some water jugs. It's fill up a bucket of sand. It's, do your forms in your combinations and your, like, practice your balance. And, like, it's all that roots of the technique, and it's the roots of those fights. And, like, all the fighters will tell you, like, the more you fight, the less you have to beat the snot out of each other, and the more you want to focus on technique. Not even just the technique, but the mechanics, the structure, the range, the timing of how you're doing all those movements. You want to not just make it a technique that you want to make it intuitive to who you are as a fighter, as a as a combat technician or whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like, the best guys will spend hours just kicking the bag, just kicking the air, just standing on one foot, just shrimping across the mat for hours, doing the most basic, simplistic, of movements, of the techniques, of just the basis of what you're doing. And the true martial artists will take this and they'll shine through it, and they'll grind through it, and we'll all come out of this, like Tom said, we're gonna come out of it together better. Ed said it. It's just a speed bump for some of us, and our community is going to stick with us because that's how martial arts is. And if some of them leave, it just continues to grow and evolve.
Exactly. Last thing, social media, because you guys are busy on social media right now. So you, Shaun, first, and Tom, I'm going to throw up your Instagram handles up here. Tom, I put up your personal one because you got most of your stuff on Instagram under your personal page, but you can give up everything, whatever you want.
Personal CA Evans 10. The business, which I haven't really been using Instagram much for the business. I got to start.
Which we talked about that before we went. Instagram
we
is a popular tool.
Yeah, I haven't been using it.
You have that IGTV that allows you 15 minutes of live. I think, an hour up to live on your Facebook, on your Instagram stories, but a 15-minute video. So that's a good 15-minute workout video you could put on, on Instagram. So go ahead.
TUCMAIRI is our Instagram. TUCMAIRI. We're the United Community Martial Arts Institute Rhode Island on Facebook. Facebook and our website's unitedmartialarts.org. That's where all of our members have been going to get a lot of their information to the student and parent portal. Our Facebook is directly linked to unitedmartialarts.org, so whatever I post on Facebook is automatically on the homepage of the website. So it's kind of like just simple there, right? You don't have to have a Facebook to see what I'm doing on Facebook, which is pretty cool.
And a lot of people don't choose to go on Facebook,
but you can still see it. The video is still there. Yeah, they go right online. You can see it's right there. And that's kind of where I'm at with social media.
Excellent. You, Shaun?
Red Seal everything, Steve.
Simple. I love it.
Red Seal everything. If you start typing it into Facebook, it'll come up. Absolutely. Red Seal Martial Arts Company. Put it in there. Instagram, Red Seal Martial Arts Company. All underscores on the Instagram. My website is Red Seal Martial Arts. No, I'm just kidding. It's Red Seal. It's redsealma.com. And again, we're doing the Zoom stuff, so we're constantly blasting out emails. So leave your email, send me your email, text me your email. Yep. My phone number's unfortunately not private. It's all on there. It's on the website. So just check out one of those avenues: Facebook, Instagram, the internet, somewhere. Red Seal, you'll find it.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, last thing I want to say right here is I got that little poster that says, let me get this off right here. Don't cancel your membership. Stick in there, people. They're doing all they can. They're improvising, and they're adding more and more every day. Do not cancel your gym membership. I extremely ask you to contact your gym owner, your coaches, and work something out with them. Do not cancel. They will work with you. They need you, and like we've been talking about for over an hour, that this is going to make everyone stronger in the community. And these gyms are your families. I mean, some of your only family are these gyms. They've been there to support you, and now they're asking you for your support to keep them rolling. I know it's tough out there, but it's going to be tougher if you don't have them when this smoke all clears and you have to find this direction again. They're there, they're helping, they're trying to do everything they can for you. So stick in there, donate, and talk to them. They'll work stuff out with you, and that's all I really can say, man. And I appreciate everyone tuning in and, hearing what they have to say. I mean, I think as a community, we can help each other daily and weekly get through this. And by the time we get through this is going to be one strong motherfucking New England community. With that said, we had this big New England website we were launching, newenglandmma.com. .org. We held it back. We're going to release it for the Cage Titans card.
Yep.
We are going to release it. We're talking about when the ban lifts and people can start getting together again. We'll release it. We'll launch it so people can get acclimated with it, and we can work out kinks. People can respond and see what's going on. And by the time it's rolling and smooth, the cards will be here.
Yep. And
will be all full throttle. So look out for that. It's coming. It's ready. We're just not launching it and having you go through everything and then having no content to throw on it. So it's there. It'll be there, and we're gonna get through this all together, man. So thank you, Thomas Evans. From where?
The United Community Martial Arts Institute of Rhode Island.
Love it.
Nice.
Shaun Shubert.
Red Seal Martial Arts Company. Red Seal everything, Steve.
Red
They already
Seal,
know.
everything. Tom's dad's been in the corner right there, hanging out.
Survivor.
He's been giving us cue cards and shit, holding them up, telling us what to say. So, Tom, you want to get in the middle there and just say hi to everyone and.
Hey, hello everybody. Support these guys and help them out a lot. They're there for you. Now it's your turn to be there for them.
Excellent.
All
Well,
right.
thanks guys for coming in. I will be having a podcast. I might be having 2 a week. If you're a fighter, if you're a gym owner, if you're anyone to do with the martial arts community that's going through this, anyone wants to talk about it, I'm here. I'm going to be here Wednesdays and Friday nights. I will have 2 podcasts a week, definitely on Wednesday, but I will add a Friday if there's people out there who want to talk and get their words out and promote what they're doing at their gyms and all that. I'm here for you. So contact me on Messenger. Let's get you booked and let's talk to you next week or Friday. With that said, thanks guys again.
Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it.